Alright guys, here we're talking about Season 1, Episode 6 of Insatiable.
Yo, yo, yo.
So, in the last episode, we had, introduction of a character that we had a little issues with in her perfectness and whatever, the transgendered character in the bathroom.
Oh, yeah.
In this episode, my issue is with the new impossibly in
I
every
call her
scenario
Blue
girl.
Lipstick.
Yeah, Blue Lipstick. We'll
Nice.
call her that. So Blue Lipstick is in three prominent positions here. She is in the church, where you find out that she is also a person trying out for the pageant stuff,
Yep.
and she doesn't care about anybody else. She likes who she is, and blah blah blah. I do this and that. Then she is also a lesbian who is coming on to what's her name? Nani. Coming on to Nani and giving her the card and, oh, you can come out to me and we can talk and whatever and this and that.
And she says because if I was your friend, I'd be down. And Nani's like, okay.
And she is the one that Chu, is that his name? Did I make up his name?
Choi.
I don't know anyone's name in the show, apparently.
I know them all. I write them down.
Yeah. So she's also the girl that Choi wants to go see at performing at the coffee house, and I'm like, okay, this girl is conveniently everywhere in this episode. I hate meeting a character and she's everywhere. So I would much prefer if you would have just had her. She was in the coffee house in episode 1, and there was no reference to her, and then she was in the church in episode 3, and then in episode 6 you find out she's a pageant goer. Something that's not. Let me hit you in the fucking head with a new character.
In all fairness, there are still 3 things, but that bathroom's at that coffee house, so that all happens together or whatever, right?
Yes, it's in the same location, but it is a totally
the fact that she
different
was playing
way of it is, yeah.
Yeah, the fact that she happened to be playing at the coffee house that night, and then also happened to be the perfect, conciliatory. No, what is it? The word help you emotionally person, lesbian for for Nani.
She's a good surrogate bathroom friend.
Is a bit crazy, yes.
No, it just comes off as lazy writing. We're we don't have time to establish a character over a while. Just do it.
I thought this was less quote-unquote offensive than last time, but they do.
Well, the last one was a preaching maneuver, and this one wasn't that.
Well, but they do change the music and kind of change up shit or whatever. This episode had a lot more, like the weirdness happens early, and it had a lot more, redemptive things around those things and later, where I'm, okay with it. But, yeah, it feels like we have to treat that character different for some reason. And there's no
she's framed
there's
as
no
such.
Ugliness, there's no downside yet. And again, every character doesn't have to be shitty, but every other character is shitty. So you should be shitty on this show, I feel like.
Yeah, our main character's a shithead.
Maybe she'll turn out to be shitty. Fingers crossed.
It really rubbed me the wrong way.
It felt weird.
With just how they beat you over the head with this character. But Nani's character had a lot of moments here and acting and doing things.
I loved it so much. I was so happy. All the different ways that this could have played out. When she kisses her and she goes, "Oh my God, I've ruined everything." I wrote down what happened. It's so good.
I guess it's how everyone takes a thing in the moment. But if that were to happen to me, and I was in her shoes, and I said no, nothing has to change. I don't mind. I feel like that's a natural thing to say, and it isn't as. I guess everything else she has done across the season has been very self-serving, selfish, and
No, they have baggage together.
Yes, but I didn't think that moment should have been the straw that broke the back moment.
Her choice of words or whatever in that moment was less Nani's feeling all these feelings, and so she would have found something to potentially react to or whatever.
Because I'm any way she could have phrased that, it would have had an I in it. If she said, "I'm your best friend." Oh, it's all about you. I'm your best friend.
No,
You're my best friend. Oh, it's all about you. I'm your
yes, but that's
it was a no-win scenario because you lost and it's very emotional.
She went into it saying you always make everything about you. That was already out there or something like that. I think that her response comes from her being oh, everything's ruined now, and then her saying, "No, it's not. It's not ruined as far as I'm concerned." And she's like, "Wait, fuck you. No, it's ruined as far as I'm concerned." That's the whole thing.
Yes.
But no, the faces and the acting and all this stuff here, I really liked Nani's character a lot. And when the episode opens, she was kind of dressed differently, and I was really worried that now she dresses like a lesbian or some weird thing like that was going to happen. But because she was tucked in differently, it just had a different vibe.
I like that it started off with her not being sure when she's talking at the lunchroom, and she's and he
awesome.
professes that he likes her. And I'm
yes.
I'm oh, that's very unfortunate.
Oh, no,
I thought that she was going to say that she was unsure of her things, and maybe she was walking the line, and maybe she was going to give it a shot with him, because I think the two of them kind of could click.
No, and like they are clicking, and like Choi's becoming like a real character again.
Yes, he's fleshed out.
He's the convenience store clerk that was jerking off in the car. He has no right to be a real character, but they keep adding a little bit every episode, and you feel like he's a real dude. You can like empathize with him and his like whatevers. It's really good.
Yeah,
and those conversations were really good. And it's even so real because we know people where this kind of thing has like happened, where like she says, well, I don't just check out random girls, but I think I'm into like this one girl or something like that. I'm like, I have heard this multiple times in like real life of like women who end up being like whatever. I'm like Jill sexual because you just like this one girl for some reason. I was like, that is creepily like accurate and like on the nose. I'm sure the internet's like, no, this is fake lesbian stuff, but
fake
like
news.
But like, yeah, where she's just like, well, I don't know what I am, but I have this weird attachment to this like one real person in my life. I was like, that's really cool, because it leaves the door open. Sexuality is complicated, all that stuff, right?
Sure.
It's like so much better than just like, I guess I'm gay now, and then to have her like change everything about herself and be suddenly super.
Yeah,
super.
I was very worried with how the last episode ended that we were going to get that, where it was going to be, I'm letting my freak flag fly, and now I'm fully embraced, and everything in my room is flags and bullshit.
Everything's Katie Lang and like whatever lesbians like these days.
Splitting this into a moment where she gets to have real emotion and talk about her characters and actually display some acting and like make their relationship like on kilter, where it's like, well, what's going to happen here? And then Choi, same deal, where he's like, well, should I pursue this? Because
even the fact, right? Because he bravely says, I want this to be a date, but like I don't know if it is or if you're gay or whatever. And then her explaining everything, and him going, no. I'm really like honored that you feel like you could tell me that or whatever. And I'm like, oh, this is amazing.
She didn't appear to be hearing him toward the end of their conversation, and I think that was when some of the most important stuff was spoken.
Yeah.
And I wonder if he's gonna rehash those statements again, or if it's going to get dropped and we're not going to see it again. I would like her to even go to him to tell him what had just happened between them, and maybe he then makes his move again, and she gets to see how it feels when somebody who you're not into professes their love to you, and that might be a nice full circle moment.
Oh yeah. No, I think character development is taking place, which is like, cliche to even mention, but yes. So I think now she goes back to Choi as like her only like friend in the world that she can talk to, and yes, either she magically goes back in time and better appreciates the conversation that she had with him, or he like verbally rehashes it and they like get like more deeply into it. Because, literally Patty's choice of words, I love you, but, like, not in that way, right? She can now look at Choi and be like, fuck, and, like, have a whole, like, thing, right?
I don't even think she knows him to be like, I love you, but not in that way.
Not exactly the same way.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
But that, like, I feel, like, connected to you, and, like, we have a thing or something like that, but not like that, and how that sort of feels, or whatever.
Yeah.
Or he might, did he? They've already kissed, so that wouldn't work. You would want like narratively, for him to be like, "Don't you get it?" and like kiss her, and then she's like, "Oh God, this is what it feels like." The whole thing. Yeah. But okay, yes.
So speaking of like on the nose kind of cliche things, is like every other part of this episode where she's like, oh, all right, so I like this guy, but no, let me set these people up. Oh, I really like that guy. Let me steal this guy back from that one. All right, and then like, insert Molly, Christianity, and dumping people.
There was a lot of back and forth. I did laugh when she dumps Brick on crutches, just without even stopping.
Yes.
We have to break up and just go try and find him.
But I wondered about that because that was at the height of she's high right now.
Oh,
Is this even really her decision? And I don't know if they're going to frame it as such, where like everything happening post-dunking is tainted by her drug use, or no. The drug made me have sound mind and body, and that's why I made these choices.
Let's talk about the drug use. Magnolia slips her liquid Molly in her beverage, and it's like designed to trap her. That doesn't work at all. Dixie goes, "She's high," and then everyone's like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
She's high in the Lord.
And then she goes like, "Oh God damn it, sorry," and like sits down or whatever. Yeah. Everyone's like, "Oh, you like monster" or something like that. But while she's high on Molly and being dunked, she has like a hyper time like epiphany where she talks to a donut. I thought it was really awful.
I thought it was gonna. No.
You loved it, didn't you?
It's not that I loved it. It's that it threw my expectations away. So when you see this donut and the donut say like, you're the hole and you have to fill blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I was picturing some cheesy bullshit where it was gonna come back from her being dunked and she was gonna have like her finger in the priest's mouth or something, and it was gonna be the awkward it's blown up moment. What's happening? And that's when they were gonna realize she's high and something's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And they didn't do that. And so it worked for me in the fact that it was anything but that stupid thing that I didn't want to have.
Sure.
And then there was the funny line of she's anything Dixie says is like it's just she's there to
I don't have anyone
tension.
to plot with anymore. I miss my mama. We're doing revenge. I want in.
Yeah.
No, we're not sisters. Shut up. And she's like, oh. Yeah, her characters ended up being really great.
We share a toothbrush.
You're using my toothbrush? Oh, it was great. The whole thing was great. I loved her. Yeah, so like no one really like her being high spot doesn't get blown up, and she kind of like mistakes it even like herself for being a religious experience. Which once it starts, you kind of go, oh, that's what they're gonna do or something like that. The donut
and it makes a lot of sense.
Yes, the donut talking and like the God-sized hole comment or whatever ended up being this like recurring thing that was gonna happening in there. I liked that being a callback to her mom. Like I gotta fill this God-sized hole. Looks over, cut to like the bathroom stall panty shot of like fuck I keep doing this, you're my sponsor, this isn't cool. He's like, I don't know I'm fucking going through. Like she's such a hot mess. Big fan.
Oh yeah, I'm a fan.
And how the different generations, like she's super selfish and now Patty's being
selfish. It is definitely
selfish.
a family trend.
She has a religious experience epiphany that tells her to go back to being selfish.
Do you think we're ever going to find out who her dad is?
Lee Majors.
Oh.
No, I don't know. Is her dad dead or gone? I think he's just
didn't
gone.
know who he was.
Oh no. So the list, the dad is someone else from like the town or something. Right? Because she's looking at the list of everybody that she banged.
That's why I'm like, I think they're foreshadowing something here where we're going to find out who the dad might be. And it might be somebody we already know.
Yeah, I thought the pastor's name might be on that list.
That was I was like, is that a dumb thing to say? But it was a thought that I had. Based on her saying I used to party, blah blah blah, and her not even knowing, she could have fucked him when he was a kid and not even know his name.
No, Michael Ian Black is his name.
She doesn't know everyone's name.
She doesn't know his full name. No, he says, let's just say I have a past, and it's whatever.
Yeah.
Did you like him in this episode as the
preacher man? I don't dislike him. It's a little weird that other lady we met is his wife, because his son is Christian.
What lady is his wife?
The one that came in and said, I need my son to go to jail.
Oh, yeah, we didn't even talk about that again. Yeah. So, did you see it coming that he was the dad of Christian? I noticed close to when it's revealed.
You certainly could have called that right from the beginning because they say my dad is a pastor.
I know. Yeah. So once he mentioned having like I kind of went
on the nose my dad named me Christian blah 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 blah.
Yeah, well okay. So once he mentioned having a kid, I was kind of I was eating food and I was like, "Roar!" I was like, "Oh wait a minute!" And then Bob says something whatever, and I was like, "What?" And then it cuts to the picture. So I went on the journey with Bob. When Bob goes whatever, I did the same thing. Wait a minute or whatever. But when they introduced this local preacher dude, it didn't click for me that he could have been his son or something like that. I thought you might say
it should have snapped in right. Yeah. It didn't get me that moment, but it should have been the moment you met the preacher. You should have been how many preachers are there? Yeah. That's obviously his dad.
No, I figured that would have happened for you because you're often catching those things.
No, that one didn't get me then.
Yeah. It was a nice journey to go on to be oh shit, it's him. But yeah, the episode's I don't want to say bogged down, but there's a lot of Brick and Patty, Magnolia and Christian and Patty, Magnolia, back and forth.
There's a lot. I wouldn't say
whatever.
It wasn't bogged down for me. It was dense with things that weren't super important.
Sure.
But I never felt oh man, I'm stuck in this sea of shit. Each one of the things was short. They were quick paced.
Yeah,
and there was often a little bit of a payoff of humor or something in each line, in each scene.
It was not enjoyable. I guess what I mean is that looking back, there was a lot of back and forth, in and out, left and right, to and fro. And we just ended up back where we kind of started.
Well,
which is fine.
That's the issue with an episode that has a lot of this is the token whatever type of stuff. And there was a lot at least 50% of this episode was things where I'm okay, that's old hat kind of stuff. But the other 50% did kind of make things wrap up. It's okay, you're doing that thing that happens a lot in TV shows, but it's wrapped up in a way that's slightly different, and you're able to twist this, and these characters are so they're like impossibly entangled, all of them.
I know.
Because like everyone is connected by like 3 different, like completely different things.
And you're constantly like, it even comes up at one point. Wait, you're dating. Wait, like you're dating him. Wait, oh yeah, tell your dad this. Oh, it's your dad. I'm like, oh, the Bob is his dad. Oh fuck, like those things.
I want to go learn about wrestling. Go to the coach. Bob, why are you here? Oh, I'm a cheerleader of the whatever's.
I'm a booster man or some weird thing like that.
That's a fancy word for cheerleader.
That's a fancy word for creepy old guy cheerleader. Let's talk about the Bobs.
And then they're in singlets and they're wrestling.
Let's talk about the Bobs a little bit.
Let's talk about Bobs.
Bob has a line here that says,
"Which Bob?
I think you'll find that my soul is fruity enough."
Oh yes.
Or whatever, right? So
then there's weird homoerotic wrestling.
So you know which
angles.
Bob I'm talking about.
Yeah.
The penetrator shot or whatever the fuck. I am concerned that they're gonna make Bob pageant Bob like revealed to be gay or something like that. And let me tell you why. Oh, go ahead. You have anything?
Do you think with the other Bob? Do you think they're going to leave their wives?
Yeah, I do, because his wife is gone, and his wife might as well be gone, and they have a history,
so,
kind of like Nani and Patty have a history, and I think it's going to be the
Bob
exact same thing.
Barnard was only mean to him because he liked him.
Because he was pushing him away, because
his
he
dad
couldn't
pushed him away from his tendencies.
Sexual tendencies, yes.
Yes, we
all
certainly have our Bob. Certainly has homosexual tendencies, and I think he's even said that.
What do you mean?
Like, aside from I'm fruity enough, but
I may have missed something. Yeah.
Just as in general, I'm into fashion, I'm into this, I'm into that. Like he plays off at a certain way.
So here's the thing. Forgive me, internet. He acts like a homo, right? So you're like, oh, he's a homo. But personally, right? And this is and I'm gonna start with like the hidden.
He means he acts most like feminine.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yes.
So like, okay, there's a lot of characters in things classically for like a long time. This guy likes musical theater and he talks like this.
Oh no, yeah, he has a stereotype.
And then they say, I'm not gay, and then they end up being gay, and it's this like weird like, well, of course, ha ha ha. It's like this funny thing. Like number one, I find that really cliche and like awful. Number two,
this is the cliche episode though, so it's fine.
Number two, like I'm not like a manly guy myself. I don't like fix cars or play sports or do any of that shit. We were playing football in college, and in high school, sorry, and I was like, I don't know how to play football. Like we're in school. Do you not teach people how to play these games? Like what's going on? It was this whole thing. Like so when I see a character who is cranked up to 11 on being like not a manly man, I hate when they always end up being gay. Cause it's like, oh fuck, you're not like allowed to be whatever without also being gay or something like that. And this was like the one show where you just had all these different characters who were allowed to be whoever they are and all that stuff. So it would really be sucky and cliche if he ends up literally just being gay. Also, because that's exactly Nani's whole like journey, where she's like putting off a vibe and finding herself and ends up being gay. So it's super shady to have the same thing happen with Bob.
Part of me worries that a lot of this is just like, we have these dumb joke things. Look, see how we line up the camera where his head's near his crotch? Isn't that hilarious?
That's my other problem, is that I feel like...
So you don't have a win here, because either it's like that, which is lame, or yes, you're selling this character up the river.
I feel like it's going to turn out, and I wrote down gay with other Bob. The Bobs are gay together. Bob, fruity moment, dashing all my expectations. Ends up gay with other Bob, maybe? That's my actual note.
I will make my prediction to say you were close, but not 100% there. I think you're going to find Bob Barnard is gay. Our Bob is not gay.
There you go.
And he gets that kiss moment that Nani had almost, and he goes, Bob, I'm flattered that you would
You're not my type. I like Puerto Rican boys
the
or something.
ladies.
Yeah. No. Well, no. Okay. Yeah.
I think
that's
he's
the
gonna be
opposite.
straight.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No, and like that would be like better or whatever, right? Because again, I just have a soft spot for that.
Because I could picture him back with his wife and him going, Bob Barnard kissed me. What? And then she's jealous because he got kissed by that guy and blah, blah, blah. And then, like, wait, he's gay?
That would be awesome if, like, she shows up again. No, like, that I could see, and, like, that would be awesome. Because he's also, like, a pageant dad. He's also, like, whatever. And he, like stripped off his suit and was dancing and all that fucking stuff. But there's all these, all the signs are there for all this.
Anyone who has a mankini, I think, automatically should get a second look.
I'm in the gym twice a day. That's excessive. That's gay culture. No, so like again, like it just personally, I have like a thing too where I hate because like in my shit I like when there's because you have like Picard and Riker, you have like I'm a manly mustache man and I'm like a tea drinking book guy, but they're both awesome, right? All these different shows have like different types of people, and like I hate when it's like like the guy who's not all like I punch people and get my hands dirty, where like that guy just ends up being gay though or something like that. This is like personally offensive to me.
But lately it's been the other way, too, where they're like, the big muscular bearded man is often the guy.
I don't like that either. I hate this weird thing where we have to be like, anyone who hates gay people is secretly gay. Anyone who's, like, not super masculine is super gay. Unless they're super masculine, then they're obviously gay, right? All these, like, weird things. I just want, like Nani's arc, I feel like is really genuine and, like, good, and her personal history with Patty really plays off it really well. If we just have a dude who's like, Madonna, and then he's like revealed to be gay. That's like Saving Silverman level, revealed to be gay to me. It's like cheap and like not good.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
But I like your angle where it's like the manly, the awesome manly.
I think
body.
that would be the proper misdirect from the shots of this
like
episode, and the only way to save them and not play them off is like this was just funny.
No, and I really
I don't like that kind of lame stuff.
I know, big time.
I don't like cheap laughs. I think this show is highbrow enough that like you're not trusting your demographic, maybe, where you're like, no, we have to be cheaper than we are.
But it's giving me mixed signals because I
am
seeing some cheap laughs, and then I'm seeing some weird, heavy-handed like, the wise lesbian. I'm just gonna tell you how to be yourself and all that stuff.
Yeah.
They also mentioned the Santa Clarita Diet a few times.
Yes, I thought that was interesting. I was like, all right, you're plugging a Netflix show and saying how you're gonna binge it.
Part of me hates them mentioning. Like another Netflix, Netflix original show. The only thing that saves it is the Drew Barrymore connection, where I'm kind of like, okay, that's fine, right? But it just feels so crappy. Like, have you seen that new Altered Carbon? Like, it just is so.
Well, if they would have done something like that, then yes.
I know.
I think this worked perfectly, especially with the connection. Yeah.
I wonder if could it have been intentional? I don't think so.
When you say intentional, in what direction?
Which came first, the Drew Barrymore, through line, or the Santa Clarita Diet part? Yes.
Definitely. Well, do you think literally the Drew Barrymore thing happened first?
No, like as they were conceiving this angle for the show, I'm hoping someone just said, "Hey, they like Drew Barrymore. Hey, we're working on like a new Netflix show. Wouldn't it be hilarious if they dropped the title 3 times, twice or whatever on on this show?" Right, so I don't know.
I think it worked. It is funny because it's self-referential, and it works also because we know this person has an established love of all Drew Barrymore things.
Stuff. Right.
It's almost the only thing that makes it almost not work is how have they not already watched it?
I know.
Unless they started filming a while ago.
This is set in the timeline where that show is just coming out.
It's just coming out, yeah.
Now we've established like a year. We have a landmark, a temporal landmark, if you will.
I would allow that.
So I agree with everything that you're saying, except when it happened, I said out loud, "Oh, don't do that." That was my reaction to the whole thing. Not the end of the world.
But when you first had that gut reaction,
yes,
were you processing it as this is also a Drew Barrymore vehicle?
Yeah,
or was it just like did your mind just go, "Oh, you're plugging a Netflix show, you fucking putzes"?
Kind of, yeah. But like now
that you've had time to stew on it,
as I thought more about it, I was like, I guess they can justify doing that. It's like slapping a child and then being like,
well, I was running for the street.
Yeah, exactly. Then you find out the backstory, and you're kind of like, I suppose that's justified. Although when you see a child slapped, you just have a gut thing of like, don't hit that child or whatever, right?
Yeah. If they had not mentioned like 7 Drew Barrymore things in the last 6 episodes,
it is totally justified in universe. But it does feel like you're slapping me, who's a child who's watching your thing. I don't know. We've jumped around so much that my notes are useless.
I do wonder, though,
yes,
which would add to this or take away from it, depending on how it goes. We've noticed that a lot of Netflix original shows were not originally shot for Netflix, and they were purchased by Netflix.
Yeah.
So this could be a plug before it was ever even a plug.
That would be extra funny. So like,
wouldn't it?
Yeah, getting deeper and deeper into the backstory of like we were mid-filming the episodes, maybe in order or like partially in order or something like that. We had done like the pilot. Netflix picked us up. We found out about it, so we put this line in as like a funny thing or something like that. Who knows what's going on?
Or the whole thing thing was
or
filmed,
they just presented the whole
aired
show. Here
one
you go.
year in Canada, and then it got picked up in America as an exclusive Netflix thing, and it just happens to be.
That would be great if someone emailed someone, because old people email, hey, I just watched this show, it's pretty good, it's got a decent cast of like whatever, it's kind of out there, perfect for Netflix. They also mention us. It's like, that's hilarious. Like, that's how they caught wind of it or whatever. Who knows? I don't know what's going on anymore.
Who does? But this episode, like in general, it's better than the last episode in its on the nose-ness. But I think it did fall back into a number of things where I'm like, okay, those are very stereotypical, plot devices and points. I don't know if I loved or hated the idea that in one episode she sets a boy up with somebody else, ditches the boy, goes back for that boy, and then like ends up leaving the other boy. Like, I'm like, okay, that's this show has been known for that, though. Where you're like, wow, a whole season's worth of another show happens in an episode of this show.
Exactly, and that's the thing, right? Like sometimes something's funny. I always think of Cartman singing "Sailing Away." When I think of this, sometimes the joke is it's like not the content but like the structure.
Yeah,
like Cartman saying "Sailing Away" and them letting him get through so much of the song every time it comes up during that episode of South Park from like 20 years ago, which is a hot reference. It's funny because you go, it's still going, oh my god, right? And like this you can appreciate because like it's so in and out and back and forth, left and right. And she's like driving home from a thing and she's like, wait, no, I do want to break up with him. Like it's this crazy, right? Or like she's on the phone, she's like, you know what, he is my boyfriend, I'm leaving. And it's like, what? We just had well, okay. Yeah. She storms out of the car like, let's go somewhere, Christian. Let's.
No, the amount of
you
like,
smell great.
You were with that guy, then this guy, then that guy, then this guy. In one episode, you're like, that's interesting.
I wonder if people can relate to it, like that's how life is when you're in school or whatever. That was not my life. I'm a nerd. This has been established.
If you can relate to that in one day, you have an interesting life.
You got problems. I liked Christian saying, I knew it. You're like me. That's so rock and roll. She's like, I do it for revenge. Her like pageantry thing. I feel like there's something real about that too. That she's like, I want to rub all their faces in it. Like we've even talked about
something is almost perfect. So what is the other girl's name that Christian was with?
Magnolia.
Christian and Magnolia are both like such fake characters that are almost perfect together.
I know. I kind of liked how that played out because, we should say, like, so she's like, I want to set you up with her. That's dumb. We should be together. No, go with her because I'm with Brick. Okay, cool. And then he walks right over to Magnolia and says, I have a proposition. I have a plan.
Yeah.
And it's from, like, the whole pretext of their whole relationship is to fuck over the other two people.
Yeah.
Which feels so, like, dirty and the good or whatever there.
But they both seem like fresh out of a magazine print ad. Like they seem far too perfect in every way.
His fucking hair and her.
Yeah, everything's like, did you just come from a stylist? Like, what's happening here?
Yeah, it's good.
No, it's fine because hers is more fine than his, I guess, because she is billed as that. I have won every pageant I've ever entered. Blah blah blah. And he is a drug dealer, not typically your most coiffed, fancy.
I feel like
person.
he got lucky. And then, like when he rolled his character, he got a certain number of traits that he's been able to play off of. I think he can like talk to adults and kind of like manipulate them, and they look at him and they go, "Oh, he's a nice boy," and like they don't. And he's leaned so hard into that, where he's dealing drugs and he's out behind the church smoking a butt. He's like, "I don't give a fuck about my dad's so lame." Like he's doing his whole like stupid thing or whatever. And part of that is like, well, I have to look. He's like Billy from Stranger Things or something like that, where he's like off there, and everyone's like, "Oh, hi. Oh, who's this?
Oh,
hi. Oh, Mrs. Whoever. How are you?"
You should be in pizza commercials.
I didn't realize you had a sister, or she had a sister. I like the line, "Your mom should not be calling me names, but I'm glad to see you are expanding your vocabulary."
Yes, I enjoyed that line as well.
Stupid things like that. Little.
Yeah, Bob's a gem.
Like, I'm writing that down. She called you a narcissist. I had to look it up. Something like that. And I'm like, oh, that's great. Because they are so different.
How cringy were you, though, when he's yelling, like, penetrate him, one, two, God. Penetrate who? Or, like, whatever the fuck he's saying.
Thank God we're at the end. Because, again, these notes are useless. He's at the wrestling match, and he fucking ruins it. And his son is like, you fucking ruined it. Don't come to any more wrestling matches and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But he did. He's, like, shouting dumb shit. And he's like, yay, get him. Go out there. Fucking take him down.
Be his boss. Yeah. Be his boss. Penetrate him.
Yeah, exactly. I almost like the fact that he's like, can you explain wrestling to me because I want to be a better dad or whatever.
Yeah, no, I respect that. And then it ends
up being selfish. But the way it gets implemented is just
super.
You could have had him ruin the wrestling match in like a lot of different ways or something like that. And having the penetrator thing, that's what you're talking about with the unusually lowbrow humor.
Yes.
And there's a way to do lowbrow where it ends up being like subversive or good or like edgy or something. And this was just like penetrate him in his butt, like do it. It was very like okay.
No, it was. Ugh. So that was very much the low point for me.
They have a moment, though. He says, that thing with Regina, maybe it was about you. And then he goes, listen, I've been really selfish and I'm sorry. This was kind of just like, I wanted to be Patty's godfather, but now I'm in here with the church. The priest has like the gift of discernment and he can touch them and like know all about them.
That's a magical power.
So he keeps like, he goes, okay, that's enough. Right? Like he's, that's making him, he says like, oh man, Patty seemed like her whole life's changed now. I just feel wet. Like it's kind of like a letdown for him. Where there's all these.
Why is she wearing a red bikini underneath her fucking thing?
And it plays like the boom, 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 like fucking rock music, and she's in slow mo, and everyone goes oh, and all that stuff. Something of that. That's very like this is like the trailer for the show or something like that. But yes, I like the father son back together. I like the whatever. But the ending is Patty's getting eaten out on Noah's Ark, and someone's filming it.
Yes, and that's so awkward because I'm like,
just get inside the boat. Just get inside the boat.
Just go anywhere that's not there. Why are you on a church's fucking like kids' playground publicly getting
like she is high and he may not care, but that's not enough for me as an audience member to like everyone's gathered there for this baptism. All of your main characters, they're having like cut fruit and like lemonade and shit, and cookies, and like people are like milling around, and you go like 50 feet away and start having like you're doing a crime. Like this,
certainly
everything she's done for all these episodes has been predicated on I have to do anything I can to like get in there, win these pageants and like qualify for this and get my record retroactively fixed for
expunged.
that.
So
and now she's taking, and again she's super high, but this is like a really foolish. She's done a lot of foolish things though.
Who do you think it's filming here? Is it Magnolia or is it what's her face?
Dixie? I don't know.
My thought is it might be Magnolia.
I think it's the pastor.
Magnolia will go to Christian and be like, and be like, I got this, and then maybe he'll tank it or something. Because it can't get out.
Maybe he'll hack her phone.
It'll crush her from being...
Yeah.
It turns out he actually does know how to hack.
The dark web and I go way back.
I don't know. I feel like any prediction here is going to be wrong. It's going to be such a weird right. It was her mom. Why would she film it?
I was literally thinking, it's Regina. She's out of prison. But
it's Nani, and she just wants to watch. I don't know.
No, I think you're right. I think it's probably limited to Dixie or Magnolia. And either way, it's more of the plotting and how are we going to use this and what are we going to do. So you'd think it would have to be Magnolia because then she'd be like, well, this fucks up Patty, but I can't distribute it because that also fucks up Christian and I'm angry at him. Oh no, she would just be like, I'm angry at him now.
I don't understand people enough to predict this. And Dixie bringing it to Magnolia to be like, look, we are sisters. I got proof.
And then she goes, we're going to take them both down. She goes, yay! Let's call my mama in prison.
Or Magnolia smacking her down going, we can't send out child porn a second time.
That's right. The child porn angle keeps coming back.
Yeah. I don't know. But we got a lot of room to go. That's it. This episode. Let us know in the comments what you thought about it. Don't die in a fire, and we'll see you next time.
Hello, internets. I just love watching JustDaggers. If you've enjoyed this video as much as I have, click that subscribe button. Peace out, homies.